Afrotale, The Snakes in Abuja. By Afrotale.official, A1. Prologue, The Journey North. In the southern town of Uromi, Edo State, lived a spirited woman named Ihi, which means God's will in Idoma. At 28, she had finally secured a job in Abuja, Nigeria's sprawling capital. With dreams clutched tight and a small Ghana Musco bag in hand, she boarded a rickety night bus under a sky heavy with stars and silent promises. She had no family in Abuja, no friends either, but she had faith and a letter of appointment from a consultancy firm, the kind of job she'd prayed for through dry fasts and midnight prayers. Remember to like or subscribe now. 2. Arrival, the hidden corners of Abuja. Ihi arrived in the city under the orange glow of early morning. It was nothing like the Abuja she saw on Instagram. Instead of posh Maitama or high-rise Garki, she found herself directed to a budget hostel on the edge of town, past Mpape's rocky ridges. The landlord, a shriveled man with sunken cheeks and a cough like a dying goat, offered her a room in a block once meant for site workers. The walls were cracked, the paint blistered, and the toilet best left undescribed. Still, she smiled politely and took the key. 3. Settling in. Shadows and whispers. She bought noodles, used bottled water to bathe, and sat outside that evening on the hostel's lone wooden bench. Her legs were sore, her heart hopeful. She scrolled through work emails as mosquitoes buzzed, but soon she noticed something strange. Locals avoided the building after sunset. They whispered about things that move in silence. One woman muttered, "We warned them. That land no be ordinary." But Ihi dismissed it. Big cities had their superstitions, she thought. That night, the power went out. The fan stopped spinning. The room grew hot. She lay still, listening. Then came a hiss. 4. Midnight, the first encounter. At first, she thought it was air escaping from the gas cylinder. But the hiss came again, followed by a slick, slithering sound like dry leaves brushing each other. She turned her phone torch on. Nothing. Then something cold brushed against her ankle. She screamed, leaping from the mattress. Her heart slammed in her chest like an ancestral drum. She watched in frozen terror as a long black snake slithered across the room, then another, and another. She grabbed her bag and bolted outside. 5. The warning: they don't like the light. The old woman from earlier met her outside. "You saw them?" she asked, unsurprised. "Snakes!" he gasped. "No, the cursed ones. That place was built on what they disturbed. A shrine. The snakes are only the beginning." The woman gave her a small calabash filled with camwood and shea oil. "Rub it. They don't like the light of who remembers the old ways." Ihi, skeptical but desperate, obeyed. 6. Day 2, the dream and the drum. That night, after changing rooms, she dreamt of a village long lost a sacred grove where women danced barefoot with pythons. A masked drummer played a rhythm that pulsed in her bones. In the dream, a voice said, "You carry the blood of watchers. That land knows you." She woke sweating, the same hiss echoing in the distance. This time, the snakes stayed away, but the dreams returned every night louder, clearer. 7. Revelation, the Forgotten Pact. Ihi dug deeper. With help from a local historian at her new job, she learned the site had once been the home of Eke Agba, a guardian python deity. Long before Abuja's sprawl, people came there for fertility, protection, and justice. But the shrine was bulldozed for development. The spirits were angry. The snakes were not invaders, they were messengers. 8. The return, a woman possessed. Driven by a force she couldn't explain, Ihi returned to the site at dawn, carrying palm oil, a white cloth, and the calabash the old woman gave her. She poured libations, sang the chant from her dream, and knelt in the red dust. Then she danced. The earth quivered. Snakes rose from the bush, circling her, hissing in rhythm, but they did not strike. A breeze lifted her hair, and from somewhere unseen, the masked drummer played. 9. Aftermath. The city remembers. In the days that followed, no snake was seen again. But the building collapsed after a heavy storm, and developers abandoned the land. She was different, quieter, wiser. She stayed in Abuja, got promoted, and became known as the woman who prays where others flee. But sometimes, when she walks alone in the bush, snakes follow at a distance. Not to harm, but to guard. 10. Epilogue. The warning to all. So if you go to Abuja looking for wealth, power, or status, remember this. Not all land forgets. Not all shrines do. And not every snake is just a snake. Did you enjoy this story? Remember to like or subscribe now for more.